There's a crack in the mirror, and a crack inside my chest. Both been there for so long now, I can't tell which hurts the best. The bartender keeps pouring, like he's trying to save my life, but every shot just brings me closer to the reasons I can't sleep at night. I've been chasing numbness down every road I know, but pain rides in the passenger seat everywhere I go. The jukebox sings a heartbreak, the neon paints me blue, and every face inside this bar somehow reminds me of you. The bottle gets lighter, the night gets old, but nothing fills an empty soul. Empty glass, empty soul, sitting here alone again, trying to drown 1,000 memories that keep floating back in. Empty glass, empty soul, that's the story I've been told. No matter how much whiskey disappears, the loneliness still holds. I remember summer evenings driving nowhere with the windows down, back when dreams felt endless and love was all around. Now the highway feels colder, the stars don't shine the same, and every mile reminds me of everything that changed. I blame the world for breaking, I blame fate for every scar, but sometimes the hardest truth is we become who we really are. And maybe healing starts the moment you stop running from the pain, instead of trying to bury it with another drink again. The room spins slower, the truth comes clear. The thing I'm fighting is already here. Empty glass, empty soul, sitting here alone again, trying to drown 1,000 memories that keep floating back in. Empty glass, empty soul, that's the story I've been told. No matter how much whiskey disappears, the loneliness still holds. Then I looked around the room at all the faces hiding scars, everybody fighting something underneath the neon stars. Maybe I ain't the only one trying to outrun yesterday. Maybe we're all just broken hearts, looking for a place to stay. Empty glass, empty soul, but tonight I finally know the answer wasn't in the bottle. It was learning to let go. Empty glass, empty soul, no longer owns me anymore, 'cause healing starts when you stand up and walk right out that door. The sunrise waits beyond the hills, the darkness starts to roll. I leave behind the empty glass and carry home my soul. There's a half-empty bottle sitting where you used to be. Neon lights are flickering like ghosts that won't leave me. This bar knows all my secrets. These walls know all my lies. Every night I come here hoping the whiskey helps me say goodbye. I tried another round of burning every photograph we made, but memories don't drown so easy, no matter what I pay. The jukebox keeps on playing songs we used to sing, and every glass I raise tonight just brings you back again. The more I drink, the more I see the girl I lost still haunting me. Whiskey can't bury her memory, can't sink it to the bottom of the glass. I've been drinking like a desperate man, trying to outrun the past. Every bottle tells the same old story, every shot keeps setting her free. Whiskey can't bury her memory, and her memory won't bury me. I drove down old county roads where we used to chase the stars. Every mile felt like yesterday, every turn reopened scars. The moon still hangs above the pines, just like it did back then, but now it's shining on a man learning how to lose again. I blame myself for everything, the nights, the fights, the end. But some hearts break without a reason, no matter how hard you've been. The pain still comes, the pain still stays, but I don't hide like yesterday. Whiskey can't bury her memory, can't sink it to the bottom of the glass. I've been drinking like a desperate man, trying to outrun the past. Every bottle tells the same old story, every shot keeps setting her free. Whiskey can't bury her memory, and her memory won't bury me. The bartender said time heals all, but time ain't healed me yet. Still I wake up every morning with a little less regret. Maybe moving on ain't forgetting, maybe that's not what it's for. Maybe healing means surviving what's already gone before. Whiskey can't bury her memory, but it can't keep me down forever. Every tear becomes a lesson, every storm becomes the weather. Tonight I'll raise one final glass to who we used to be. Whiskey can't bury her memory, but her memory won't bury me. The neon fades, the last call rings, and somewhere in the silence I finally start to breathe. These roads know every secret, every promise, every lie, every dream that left this town, and every dream that stayed behind. My grandfather drove this highway in a truck older than the sun. My father followed after him, and now I'm the next one. The tires sing the same old song against this cracked black line, a melody of sacrifice passed down through blood and time. Every mile marker tells a story, every field remembers names, and every generation leaves a little piece behind the same. The dust may settle, the years may roll, but this land still beats inside my soul. Blood runs through these roads like rivers through the land, carrying the hopes and scars of every working hand. Blood runs through these roads from the past into today, and every mile I travel keeps their memory alive this way. I remember countless summers, bonfires lighting up the sky, old men telling stories about the years that passed them by. Some spoke of hard winters, some spoke of wars and pain, some spoke of lost love and learning how to stand again. The town ain't rich in money, but it's wealthy in its soul, built by generations who refuse to let go. Every church, every barn, everywhere the beaten sign holds pieces of the people who gave this place their time. The wind still whispers their names at night, and every sunrise keeps the spirit alive. Blood runs through these roads like rivers through the land, carrying the hopes and scars of every working hand. Blood runs through these roads from the past into today, and every mile I travel keeps their memory alive this way. Maybe one day I'll be gone, another name carved into stone, but I hope the roads remember that I love this place as home. 'Cause nobody truly leaves the ground that shaped their soul. A part of us stays forever in these roads we used to know. Through my veins the same,
every lesson, every sacrifice
still burns like a flame. Oh, blood runs through these roads and always will somehow. The past keeps riding with me every time I leave this town. The headlights cut through darkness, the moon hangs bright and cold, and I keep driving forward where the blood still runs through these roads. There was a time I stood surrounded, my flames I couldn't control, watching everything I built turn to ashes in the smoke. Friends became strangers, Promises turned into lies. The people I trusted most were the first ones saying goodbye. I remember standing in the wreckage with blood, sweat, and regret, wondering if this was the ending of every dream I ever chased. The heat kept getting stronger, the smoke blocked out the sky, but something deep inside me refused to lay down and die. The flames got higher, the night got cold, but pressure makes diamonds and fire shapes gold. The fire didn't kill me, it made me who I am. Every bridge that burned behind me helped me learn to stand. The fire didn't kill me, though it took a lot away. What survived inside the ashes still burns stronger today. I lost money, lost direction, lost people I called friends, lost pieces of my old life that I won't see again. But every loss reveals something that comfort never could. Sometimes destruction clears the path for something better than you understood. The storms kept rolling through, the lightning split the sky, but I stopped asking why it happened, started asking why not try. Cause fear ain't worth obeying, and pain ain't meant to stay. It's just another teacher trying to show the way. The smoke is cleared, the dawn arrived, and everything that matters somehow survived. Fire didn't kill me, it made me who I am. Every bridge that burned behind me helped me learn to stand. The fire didn't kill me, though it took a lot away. What survived inside the ashes still burns stronger today. I carry the marks of battle like tattoos on my soul. Every setback left to listen, every wound helped make me whole. The world may see destruction when they look at where I've been, but I see proof that I survived and rose again. The fire didn't kill me, it revealed the man beneath, the one who kept on fighting when there was nothing left to keep. Oh, the fire didn't kill me, and now I finally know the strongest roots are often found after everything burns below. The sunrise paints the horizon with colors born from flame, and I smile at the smoke behind me, 'cause I'll never be the same. There was a time I'd break my fist against walls and never fall back. Every word felt like gasoline, every wound became an attack. I carried anger in my shadow like a loaded 44, looking for someone to blame for every scar I ever wore. The nights got darker, the road got long, The whiskey only made it worse. I was writing my own destruction, like a preacher reading the curse. Then one cold night by the riverbank, under a blood-red harvest moon, I realized the thing I hated most was turning me into a too. So I gathered every memory, every lie and every scar, and threw them into the darkness. Beneath the dying stars, I fed my rage to the fire, watched it burn into the night. Every grudge, every demon, every reason I used to fight. The flames danced higher and higher, till the ashes filled the sky. I fed my rage to the fire, and finally learned how to survive. The smoke rose up like old regrets, drifting where they belonged. And for the first time in forever, the silence didn't feel wrong. I still remember every betrayal, every knife behind a smile. But revenge ain't worth the chains when you've carried them for miles. The world didn't suddenly change, the pain didn't disappear, but I stopped letting anger be the loudest voice I hear. Some battles end with gunfire, some battles end with grace. Sometimes freedom starts the moment you stop feeding the hate. I fed my rage to the fire, watched it burn into the night. Every grudge, every demon, every reason I used to fight. The flames danced higher and higher, till the ashes filled the sky. I fed my rage to the fire, and finally learned how to survive. The river kept on flowing, the moon kept hanging high, and somewhere in the crackling embers, the old me said goodbye. Not every ghost was buried, not every wound was healed, but the man who walked away that night was stronger than he revealed. I fed my rage to the fire, now the flames no longer call. What once felt like a prison isn't holding me at all. The scars still tell their stories, but they no longer run my life. I fed my rage to the fire and walked away from the fight. The ashes drift across the wind like memories passing by. I fed my rage to the fire and left it with the night. The highway stretches endless under a pale moonlight, white lines cutting through the darkness like memories through the night. Got one hand on the wheel and one eye on the road, but I swear I feel a presence every mile that I go. The passenger seat sits empty, at least that's what it seems. But some nights I catch a shadow, living somewhere in between. Maybe it's an old friend, maybe it's the man I used to be. Maybe it's every goodbye still riding here with me. fades to static. The cold wind chills my skin, and I hear familiar whispers coming through the dark again. There's a ghost riding shotgun on every road I roam, a silent conversation between the lost and the known. Ghost riding shotgun through the midnight rain. I can't leave it behind me, 'cause it's running through my veins. I passed the old county bridge where we used to waste our time, laughing at the future like we'd never cross the line. Now those days feel distant like smoke above a flame, but every mile marker knows I still remember every name. Some ghosts carry sorrow, some ghosts carry regret. Mine just keeps reminding me of things I can't forget. Not to haunt me forever, not to drag me down below, but to make sure I remember the places I've called home. The moon keeps climbing higher, the tides keep singing low, and somewhere in the darkness that ghost won't let go. There's a ghost riding shotgun on every road I roam, a silent conversation between the lost and the known. Ghost riding shotgun through the midnight rain. I can't leave it behind me, 'cause it's running through my veins. Maybe every soul carries one, a shadow from the past, a reminder that the moments we love were never meant to last. And maybe that's the reason the ghost still rides tonight, to help me keep moving forward. Instead of looking behind, there's a ghost riding shotgun, but I don't fear it anymore. It's just another chapter of the life I lived before. Ghost riding shotgun till the sunrise breaks the dark, a memory beside me and a fire inside my heart. The dawn appears ahead of me, the night begins to fade, but the ghost riding shotgun will always know my name. Midnight settled on the graveyard like a blanket made of smoke. The iron gate stood open and the silence never broke. The moon hung over marble, casting shadows long and thin, and every stone looked like a story about where a life had been. I wasn't there for ghost hunting or chasing some motel. I came because the noise of life had finally grown too loud again. So I walked between the markers, reading names I'd never known, wondering how many dreams were buried beneath each weathered stone. The night felt endless, the world stood still, and every heartbeat echoed across that lonely hill. Midnight among the tombstones, where the living meet the past, where every breath feels precious, 'cause nothing here can last. Midnight among the tombstones, underneath the pale moonlight, learning more about living from the silence of the night. One stone belonged to a soldier who never made it home, another to a young mother who left this world too soon. There were names nobody visits, flowers faded by the years, and some are standing there alone, made my problems disappear. 'Cause the bills, the fights, the worries, the things I carried every day suddenly seem smaller than the lives that slipped away. The dead weren't speaking loudly, but the message still rang true. Every second that you're given, here's a gift handed to you. The cold wind whispered through the trees, and every shadow moved with quiet ease. Midnight among the tombstones, where the living meet the past, where every breath feels precious, 'cause nothing here can last. Midnight among the tombstones, underneath the pale moonlight, learning more about living from the silence of the night. Maybe that's why I keep coming to this forgotten place, to remember life is fragile and time can't be replaced. The clock keeps moving forward for every soul alive, and one day we'll all become stories told beneath these skies. Midnight among the tombstones, and I finally understand the value of tomorrow is found in where we stand. Midnight among the tombstones, as the eastern sky turns gold, I leave with less fear of dying and a stronger grip on hope. The first bird starts singing, the darkness fades away. I walk back through the iron gate, ready for another day. There's a shadow in the mirror every morning that I wake. Used to fight it like a wildfire, used to bend till I'd break. Every scar across my knuckles got a story I can't hide. Every road I took to nowhere left another ghost inside. I spent years running circles through the thunder and the rain, trying to bury every memory, every ounce of guilt and pain. But the darkness kept on calling, like a name I couldn't lose. And the devil knew my footsteps better than my worn out boots. I stopped running from the monster, Stop pretending I was clean. Turns out all the things I fear were parts of me I'd never seen. I made peace with my demons, didn't send them to the grave. Just taught them when to whisper, just taught them how to behave. Now they ride beside me silent, like the scars beneath my skin. I made peace with my demons, so they don't have to win. There's a bottle on the table, but it don't control my hands. There's a fire in my blood, but now I tell her where to stand. I've stared down every memory that used to pull me under. Now I wear them like a warning when I hear the distant thunder. The darkness never left me, it just learned to know its place. Still see it in the rearview every time I leave this place. But I ain't scared of shadows when I know where they begin, 'cause the battle ain't about them, it's the war that's far within. And stop feeding all the anger, stop giving pain a throne. Turns out peace ain't found in hiding, it's built when you stand alone. I made peace with my demons, didn't send them to the grave. Just taught them when to whisper, just taught them how to behave. Now they ride beside me silent, like the scars beneath my skin. I made peace with my demons, so they don't have to win. Some men run forever, some men lose their soul. Some men chase redemption down a road they'll never know. I look mine in the eyes and finally understood the darkness wasn't evil, it was pain misunderstood. I made peace with my demons, now the chains don't pull so tight. They still walk beside me sometimes, but they don't own the night. Every scar became a lesson, everyone became a friend. I made peace with my demons, and that's how wars can end. There's an old hill outside this town where the wild grass bends and sways, where the wind moves through the cedar trees like whispers from forgotten days. I used to drive up there at midnight when the world became too loud, to sit beside the silent storms and think about what time allowed. Some names faded from the marble, some stories vanished in the rain, but every cross and withered marker still carried someone's pain. And every time I walked among them, beneath that moonlit flame, I felt something deep inside me, like the grave still called my name. The night grows colder, the shadows lean, and the past feels closer than it's ever been. The grave still calls my name from somewhere in the dark, reminding me that life is short and every second leaves a mark. The grave still calls my name like thunder before the rain, not to pull me underground, but to make me live again. hillside, along with people that I knew, a younger version of myself, and all the things I thought were true. The reckless kid who feared nothing, the broken man who lost his way, the angry soul chasing vengeance. They're all buried there today. And maybe that's why I return to that lonely patch of earth, to remember every ending can become a second birth. The dead don't speak in words, at least not the way we do. But every grave has something it tries to teach to you. The wind keeps talking, the moon hangs low, and every lesson comes from letting go. The grave still calls my name from somewhere in the dark, reminding me that life is short and every second leaves a mark. The grave still calls my name like thunder before the rain, not to pull me underground, but to make me live again. One day my own stone may stand here beneath the endless sky, and all that's left will be the stories people tell after goodbye. So I won't waste another sunrise living trapped inside my fears, 'cause every grave I've ever visited spent all of its tomorrows years ago. The grave still calls my name, but I no longer feel afraid. It's not a voice of darkness, it's a reminder not to wait. The grave still calls my name, and now I understand. The dead teach us how to live, if we're willing to listen. The first light touched the horizon, the stars faded from the frame. I drove away from that old hillside, but the lessons still remain. I remember that old dirt road where I first learned how to run. Thought I could leave the past behind with enough miles and a loaded gun. Every county line I crossed, every motel neon light, felt like one more chance to disappear into the middle of the night. But there's a thing about the darkness most people never understand. You can outrun 1,000 memories, but not the one holding your hand. The mirror changed, the years moved on, the scars faded from sight. But every time I look behind me, there it was in the headlights. I spent years chasing freedom, thinking distance was enough, but some things follow forever when life starts getting rough. My shadow never left, it stayed through every storm, through every broken promise, through every shape and form. When the world turned cold and empty, when the road became my home, my shadow never lived, so I was never truly alone. I've sat beside dying campfires, watched the embers lose their glow, thinking about the man I used to be and the things I wish I didn't know. Some ghosts scream like thunder, some haunt without a sound. Mine just walks a step behind me everywhere I roam this town. It's seen every bad decision, every fight I couldn't win, every prayer whispered softly for forgiveness from my sins. And somehow through the chaos, through every fall and climb, it never judged the person I became with time. Now I don't fear the darkness, I don't fear the pain, 'cause every scar reminds me I've survived the rain. My shadow never left, it stayed through every storm, through every broken promise, through every shape and form. When the world turned cold and empty, when the road became my home, my shadow never left, so I was never truly alone. Maybe we all carry shadows, maybe that's how healing starts. Not by killing every memory, but by making peace with who we are. The night still has its demons, the wind still knows my name, but I've stopped running circles through the same old flames. My shadow never left, and now I'm glad it stayed. It carried all the lessons that the hard years made. Every mile, every heartbreak, every battle that I've known, my shadow never left and helped me find my way home. The moon hangs over the pines, the highway fades from sight. My shadow never left, and it'll ride with me tonight. There's a withered sign at the county line, standing where the blacktop bends. I've crossed it more times than I can count, chasing roads that never end. I crossed it when I was 18, thinking I knew everything. A rebel heart and a full tank, dreaming bigger than my means. I crossed it after heartbreak, with whiskey burning in my chest, convinced the next town over would somehow hurt me less. But every road kept teaching what pride refused to learn. Some lessons only make sense after you've been burned. The miles kept passing, the years rolled by, and every mistake became a guide. Lessons from the county line, written in dust and time. Every scar, every wrong turn became a road sign. Lessons from the county line, paid for mile by mile. taught me how to survive. I've seen angels in old diners and demons in expensive suits. Seen poor men rich in character and rich men lost in truth. I buried friends too early, watched fathers say goodbye. Learned that strength ain't being fearless, it's standing back up and try. The graveyards taught me gratitude, the storms taught me grit. The lonely nights taught patience, and the darkness taught me this: that healing ain't forgetting, and freedom ain't escape. It's carrying your story without carrying the weight. The moon still rises, the river still flows, and every answer came from the road. Lessons from the county line, written in dust and time. Every scar, every wrong turn became a road sign. Lessons from the county line, paid for mile by mile. The road didn't make life easy, but it taught me how to survive. With my demons, I learned to carry pain. I watched old dreams burn down and still danced in the rain. I found ghosts in graveyards, found hope in the dark, found pieces of myself scattered across the back roads of my heart. And now I finally understand what all those miles were for. The road wasn't taken from me, it was giving me something more. Lessons from the county line, now they're part of who I am. Every storm I weather helped me become this man. Lessons from the county line, still guiding me tonight, like headlights on the back road, cutting through the dark. Lessons from the county line, and if I had to do it all again, I'd take every wrong turn twice to learn these lessons in the end. The county line fades behind me, the sunrise paints the sky. 30 roads, 30 stories, one long ride through life, and I keep driving forward with gratitude in my soul for all the lessons from the county line that brought me home. I woke up with the sunrise and a headache from the past. Another night's been chasing shadows that were never built to last. The bottle on the dashboard, still rolling on the floor, like every bad decision I've been carrying before. This old truck knows my story, every mile and every scar. Every time I swore I'd leave it, I never made it very far. 'Cause yesterday keeps calling, like a song I can't forget. And every road I take tonight leads me right back to regret. The whiskey burns, the memories stay, no matter how hard I drank them away. I'm drunk on yesterday, on every word we never said, every dream that slipped away. keeps calling my name. The jukebox sings our favorite song, like it knows I'm still alone. And every neon light reminds me of a place that felt like home. I blame fate and circumstance, I blame the pouring rain, but the truth is some wounds linger long after love is gone away. The moon hangs over Main Street like it did when we were young, back when forever sounded easy, rolling off our tongues. Now forever feels like distance, measured in broken dreams, and nothing's ever quite as simple as it used to seem. The night grows cold, the bar grows loud, but your memory still stands out in the crowd. I'm drunk on yesterday, on every word we never said, every dream that slipped away, every ghost inside my head. I keep pouring one more round, trying to numb the pain, but I'm drunk on yesterday, and it keeps calling my name. Maybe healing ain't forgetting, maybe that's not how it goes. Maybe it's learning how to carry the weight that nobody knows. 'Cause every scar becomes a chapter, every loss becomes a page, and every man must face the story he was trying to escape. I'm drunk on yesterday, but I ain't drowning anymore. I spent enough nights looking backwards, standing at the same old door. Tonight I'll let the memories stay, without letting them remain. I'm drunk on yesterday, but tomorrow's worth the pain. The sun will rise beyond these hills, like it always does again, and yesterday can keep his whiskey. I'm moving on from them. Every night when the sun falls low and the cold wind cuts through the pines, I hear old memories down the hall like they're waiting for the perfect time. Got a chair by the window, an empty room, and a past that won't stay dead. Some people count sheep to fall asleep, I count the ghosts inside my head. The world thinks silence means I'm healed, the world thinks scars just disappear, but pain don't leave when morning comes, it just learns how to live right here. I used to fight every shadow, used to curse every night. Now I know some battles end when you stop trying to win the fight. Darkness sleeps beside me like an old friend I can't outrun. It don't speak much anymore, it just watches what I become. Every scar, every mistake, every tear I've tried to hide. Darkness sleeps beside me, but it no longer owns my life. There's a photograph gathering dust on a shelf I never touch, a reminder of another man who cared a little too much. I walked through storms that broke strong men, cross state lines and learn some wounds are here to stay. Still I get up every morning, still put my boots on the floor. Cause survival ain't about forgetting, it's learning what you're living for. The shadows still know my story, the night still knows my pain, but neither one can stop me now from dancing in the rain. Darkness sleeps beside me like an old friend I can't outrun. It don't speak much anymore, it just watches what I've become. Every scar, every mistake, every tear I've tried to hide. Darkness sleeps beside me, but it no longer owns my life. Maybe we're all haunted, maybe we're all broken somehow. Maybe strength ain't being fearless, maybe it's standing here right now. I stopped asking why it happened, stopped wishing time rewinds. Some roads only lead to peace when you leave the past behind. Darkness sleeps beside me, but it don't decide my fate. I survived too many winters to let the coldness make me brave. Every mile, every battle, every dream I kept alive. Darkness sleeps beside me, but I'm the reason I survive. The moon hangs over the backroad sky, the crickets sing through the night, and darkness sleeps beside me while I keep chasing the light. They said a broken man stays broken, like shattered glass on the floor. That once the cracks start showing, you ain't the same no more. Maybe they're right about the cracks, but wrong about the rest. Cause every scar I've ever carried taught me how to stand my best. I've watched dreams fall apart like bombs in a hurricane, watched people walk away and leave me standing in the rain. There were nights I thought the damage would finally finish me, but every piece that hit the ground built who I was meant to be. The world saw ruins, the world saw pain, but I saw lessons inside the flames. I'm built from broken pieces, every crack became my strength, every fall became a reason to keep going one more day. Built from broken pieces, not despite the pain I've known, but because I walked right through it, made the struggle my own. Yeah, made the struggle my own. My old truck's got dents and scratches from roads it's traveled through, and every mark upon his body tells a story that is true. Ain't that how life works too? Ain't that how people grow? The smoothest stones don't come from storms, the strongest hearts do though. I've carried loss and disappointment like weight across my back, but every burden taught me something that comfort often lacks. Now I don't hide my scars or wish my past away, cause every piece I wanted gone helped make me who I am today. The years move fast, the lessons stay, and everyone tells a different story than it did years ago. Not perfect, not untouched, but stronger than before. 'Cause survival ain't about escaping every hardship life can bring. It's about becoming someone who can carry anything. Yeah, I'm built from broken pieces, and I wouldn't change a thing. 'Cause every storm that tried to break me ended up teaching me to win. I'm built from broken pieces, like an old road forged by time. Every crack became a pathway, leading me to this life. Sets me on the back roads, the shadows stretch and fade, and I thank every broken piece for the man it helped create. I left that town on a cold black night. Dust on my boots, blood on my pride. Thought I could outrun every mistake I made, leave my sins buried in an unmarked grave. But every mile marker whispered low, every back road carried what I used to know. The ghosts I made kept riding shotgun, and the past kept loading another gun. I'll change my face, change my ways, tried to disappear in the better days. But some things follow like a falling rain, and one thing never forgotten: my name. The devil still knows my name, still calls me when the midnight wind blows, still remembers every broken promise, every dark road nobody knows. I may be stronger than I used to be, but some days never fade away. The devil still knows my name, and he's got nothing new to say. I've stood in churches, I've knelt and prayed, tried to rebuild what my anger betrayed. Put down the bottle, put down the fight, learned how to sleep through the longest nights. But temptation waits like a fence line flame, patient as death and twice as tame. Watching from shadows beyond the light, waiting for one wrong turn tonight. I ain't the man I used to be, but I ain't blind to what I see. The darkness lingers just the same, and it still remembers my name. The devil still knows my name, still calls me when the midnight wind blows, still remembers every broken promise, every dark road nobody knows. I may be stronger than I used to be, but some days never fade away. The devil still knows my name, and he's got nothing new to say. I don't fear him like I did before. I've seen what survival is for. Every scar carved into my skin reminds me where I've already been. He can knock, but I won't let him in. Can't sell a soul that's already been tested. I walked through fire, crossed that line, and came back with what's left of mine. The devil still knows my name, but he don't own my soul tonight. He can whisper through the darkness, but he can't kill this light. Every mile I've traveled controls me. The wind still howls through the pines. The night still carries old flames. And somewhere in the dark, beyond the county line, the devil still knows my name. The hospital room was quiet, except for the hum of the lights. The strongest man I'd ever known looked smaller that night. His hands were worn from decades of fighting life head on. The same hands that taught me how to stay strong when things go wrong. He motioned me a little closer, said he didn't have much time. There were things he needed me to hear before he crossed that line. No grand speech, no famous words, just truth in his tired eyes. The kind of wisdom only earned after a hard-lived life. The room stood still, the clock moved slow, and every word he said cut deeper than I know. My father's last advice still echoes through my mind. Don't let anger steal your years, and don't leave love behind. My father's last advice still guides me through the night when the road gets dark ahead. His words become the light. He said, son, the world ain't fair, and it never claimed to be. But bitterness is a prison built with your own key. He said, take care of your family when nobody else will, 'cause the measure of a man is how he climbs the hill. He said, don't chase every dollar at the cost of your soul, 'cause money comes and money goes, but character stays whole. And then he smiled softly like a man finally at peace, knowing the lessons he carried would never truly leave. The tears rolled down, but I stayed strong, trying to memorize every word before he was gone. My father's last advice still echoes through my mind. Don't let anger steal your years, and don't leave love behind. My father's last advice still guides me through the night when the road gets dark ahead. His words become the light. Years have passed since that moment, but some things never fade. I hear his voice in silence every time I lose my way. When life throws another storm, or the pressure starts to rise, I remember the strength I saw in my father's eyes. My father's last advice is worth more than gold. It's a compass for the journey as time could never hide. The sunset falls across the farmland. The evening breeze drifts by, and I whisper, thank you for my father's last advice. Blue lights flashing in my rear view, dust rising off the ground. Another long night on these back roads with trouble all around. The county knows my history, every mistake I've made, every fight, every bad decision, every debt I've never paid. But the law can't chase the demons that keep knocking at my door, and no badge can stop the memories I've been running from before. I spent years blaming everybody for the mess I made myself, till I learned the hardest prison ain't built by anyone else. You can lock a man in chains, you can throw away the key, but the battle that I'm fighting lives inside of me. No sheriff can save me, no siren in the night, no judge can write a sentence that makes everything alright. No sheriff can save me from the ghosts inside my head. The only man who can change this life is the one these boots have led. I've crossed rivers in the darkness, I've slept beneath the stars, trying to outrun my reflection, trying to heal invisible scars. The whiskey gave me excuses, the highway gave me room, but neither one could fix the damage growing in the gloom. Then one night beside a campfire, watching sparks climb through the sky, I realized all these years I'd been living a lie. 'Cause freedom ain't escaping and redemption ain't a place they're both found in the mirror. When you finally face your face, the road gets lonely, the truth gets loud, and eventually a shadow finds you in the crowd. No shadow can save me, no siren in the night, no judge can write a sentence that makes everything alright. No sheriff can save me from the ghosts inside my head. The only man who can change this life is the one these boots have led. The moon hung over the pines like a spotlight from above, and for the first time in forever I stopped running from myself. The storm was still raging, but something felt brand new, 'cause the hardest outlaw to conquer was always me and not you. No sheriff can save me, but maybe that's okay, 'cause strength is built from facing what you feel along the way. No sheriff can save me, but I finally understand the road to redemption starts becomes a man. The blue lights fade behind me, the dawn breaks through the gray, and I keep driving forward toward a better day.